They wouldn't let me in, so I never asked permission toward the mission. Like a clinician more than a musician. My flow rare like a first edition. Report for dismission. Everything I ever thought of, it came to fruition. King of the transition. We never switch and peep the acquisition, no omission. Your lyrics dry it in the prepare for collision. Then the satellite that's on an orbiting mission.
I remember we didn't have any permission. Never forget it, we on a mission. I remember that they didn't even want to listen. Now we cooking, we ain't even in the kitchen. I remember we didn't have any permission. Never forget it, we on a mission. I remember that they didn't even want to listen. Now we cooking, we ain't even in the
I just touched down in LA, the Spanish, my favorite. It's that G, I keep it playing, so I put it on. She be in it, she just made a beat. I got rolling over, speeding to the money like I'm running from the feds. Posted with my this say yeah. I'm like, whoa, see residuals. What's reaping what I sow, harvest getting bigger, they all froze. I release my soul, now they taking pictures of it.
Eyes on the prize, it's my life sold up. 5:45, had the lights on us. Fries for the side of an ice cola. You know that ride till the tires fall off. She know I'm a D, I got a date with destiny. She coming to me, cause I got the flavors and recipe. She racing to me like an athlete. She chill with the G's, then she know it. Yeah. It's eyes on the prize, I can't live life in disguise. Cause real recognize I ain't gotta compromise. I keep it concise, the gang tight like ties on the industry advice. I'm outside with some good fellas and some nice guys trying to live life in the sky. We lit in real life, we don't pay to be verified. We just manifest, lay and grind on the rise. We defy the odds like it's nothing, time after time. God bless this eternal shine, yeah. Eyes on the prize, it's my life sold up. 5:45, had the lights on us. Fries for the side of an ice cola. You know that ride till the tires fall off. She know I'm a D, I got a date with destiny. She coming to me, cause I got the flavors and recipe. She racing to me like an athlete. She chill with the G's, then she know it. Eyes on the prize just to see how far I go. Yeah. Shooting star, yeah. All over the globe. Hard work, all I ever know. So nobody could tell me I'm not wet my way and go. Yeah, I'm in my zone, yeah, through this microphone.
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. McCarthy going to put it up right away. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. A give left side for Benson. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it, understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. Well, they're sending out an early memo that points are not going to be easy to come by in this one. A block here in the opening quarter, and what a block it was.
I love how you talked about sending out a memo. I know of one special teams coach who leaves a note in the lockers of guys he wants on his special teams, a direct invitation to them. He wants them to have the pride in what they're doing. This group showed it right there, a big effect on this game.
We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. To the air with McCarthy. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
And his throw here is incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. The slot man in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up. They'll try again, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And he's got it. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be fourth and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on fourth and goal from the 1. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great effort there. His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Looking to throw McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, there's no disputing. He's made some poor throws in this first half, but this was a good one. And you can bet this is an offense that isn't going to pull back. They believe in what he can do. So all you can do is look forward, and they pick up a first down.
Yeah, he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. Throwing is McCarthy. Being chased out left. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. But the Vikings sit 4-7 now in the year. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. There's defense for the Packers. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Now they go screen. It's complete. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Here's McCarthy. And he's got this down to the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
You look at this Packers defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. After 1, 7-3 the score. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they get it back within a point at 7-6. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. McCarthy operating from the gun. Flushed out right. Out on the right, this is Cruz. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
On play action. Love to throw. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. 1 One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And, he takes a shot at the end of that play. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big pickup of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st down, it's Benson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Love now. He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there with an amazing diving catch. And the Packers are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
It's complete to Cruz. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Wanted a little extra space. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Here's 2nd and 3. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 32-yard line.
Back to throw. McCarthy. third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take over here up near the 40. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's caught inside the 25. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Christian Watson with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Throwing. Love. Open man is Musgrave, the tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Here's Love. And this one is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Love going to give it up on the touch pass. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Going back to Love. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And running with power here. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. How to approach this? Third down and 16 yards to go. Love from the gun. Pass taken in by his big tight end. He's across midfield. And down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 49 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. They work now on 2nd and 9. To pass, here's Jordan Love. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone. But the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Throwing to start the drive. McCarthy. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McCarthy buying time to his left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. A give. Here comes Benson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. This guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent jobs.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Trey Benson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Packers take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the foot.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Escapes the defender. And he's got some space here. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On the give, it's Benson. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try to run for it with Benson.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD, second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? Do you want the field goal to be the last resort? In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. McCarthy. He's going to let this one go deep.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
But when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
They'll look to throw again. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30.
And now here is another interception. And the Packers will take over here just shy of the 30.
Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
And room to run as he's up past the 30.
Something new. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how Rough Riders roll. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how Rough Riders roll. Snitches wanna try, snitches wanna lie, the snitches wonder why, snitches wanna die. All I know is pain, all I feel is rain. How can I maintain with madness on my brain? I resort to moving silence like you don't know what our style is. New York, the wildest. My dogs is with it. You want it? Come and get it. Took it, then we split it. Damn right we did it. What you gon' do when we run up on you? Messing with the wrong crew. Don't know what we going through. I'ma have to show how easily we. When we find out there's some more that's running with Joe. Nothing we can't handle. Break it up and dismantle. Light it up like a candle. Just cause I can't stand you. Put my on tapes like you busting grapes. Think you holding weight and you haven't met the apes. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how Rough Riders roll. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no, that's how Rough Riders roll. Yo, it's y'all people crazy? Be crazy, stop acting like a baby. Mind your business, lady.